The olive oil extraction. Now I will tell you what is the truth about extracting olive oil, and I will try to erase from your mind all the romantic ideas we have with the donkeys, with the press, with the tree shaking, with all the stuff. That is wonderful for the pictures, but I will tell you how the good olive oil is really made, okay? So the olive oil extraction. The olive oil extraction, we have three main possibilities. The pressing mill, have you seen those stones, and the press, that you have seen wonderful pictures of that, all that stuff? Okay, that's the pressing mill. It's a very little percentage of the production we have nowadays. The second one is the extraction in two phases, and the second one in three phases. Boring, I will go quickly with this. So what we will see is the extraction in two phases. That is about 95% of the worldwide extraction, the system we use. How it works? It's like an orange juice, but with a question mark, because it's not exactly the same. In an orange juice, we take all the liquid, we separate liquid and solid. Here, we have to separate two liquids, because in the olives, we have the liquid, but the liquid is the vegetal water and the olive oil, the fatty juice, and we need to separate. I will explain you later how it is. It's a roundabout effect that I will tell you. One thing, how many olives do you think there are in 1 liter of olive oil? Make a guess.
50.
How many?
15.
15?
No, 50.
50, 50, a little bit more. 200? About 1,000. About 1,000. And you know how many space about 1,000 it takes? You take about, in average, because there are some olives that are like this, and some olives that they weigh about 2 or 3 grams. So if you take a 5 liters olive oil tin, you empty it all, and you fill that with olives, that's about more or less the quantity you get, okay? So you need to have about 1,000 olives to make 1 liter of olive oil. The roundabout effect. Now I will begin to explain weird things, but I hope that they are very effective for you to understand what is the process of extraction of olive oil. It's very technical, but I'm going to make it absolutely simple. We have a very special roundabout. So we are in our car, in our bike, okay? And we have quite a special roundabout. That roundabout, you know that they had some exits outside, but we will have a roundabout with another exit inside. That roundabout is crowded, and we have 3 vehicles in there. We have a big truck, we have a van, and we have a small car, a very small car. And they are all spinning at the same time. The heavy truck, and this is, think about the weight, the heavy truck is the solid of the olives. The water is the van. You know that when you put olive oil and water, the olive oil always floats because it weighs less than the water, okay? So the most lightweight of all of them is the olive oil. So they are all spinning at the same time. But we have the exterior exit and we have the interior exit. I'm going to explain you now with a little video that I will repeat a couple of times because it's too short. You have to excuse me for the quality, because it's a video I've done myself, it's an animation I've done myself with my daughter on my iPad, okay? But I think that will be very delightful for you to understand what is the extraction process of the olive oil. So it's spinning around, and because the roundabout is so crowded, the only exit for the small car is the inside. That's the process of extracting olive oil. It's very simple, and we just separate through the spinning force and through the weight of the 3 elements. But what are the machines? We have the process. These are absolutely ugly pictures. We just see stainless steel, working label people, all that stuff, but I love them. Because with this system I'm going to show you now, we can have the best ever olive oil we had in all the times of the world, since we've been extracting olive oil. So this is, once the olive oil are crushed, we have the malaxation. What is that? Just mixing. It's just a process of mixing the 3 elements. When we crush the olives, we don't take away the pit. Everything is all together. So if we were leaving it there just by itself, we would have, just by time, the solid on the bottom, the water in the middle, and the olive oil on the top. And that wouldn't be a very effective system to extract the olive oil. So with this system, we can separate the molecules of the olive oil so we can make a better extraction process. The next one is this one. This is the machine that is doing the roundabout effect. It's the one I've shown you in the video. So the olive oil comes from the middle, and the solid and some liquid is leaving on the outside. And the next one is the teacup or the coffee cup effect. Have you seen when you have a coffee cup or a teacup that is very close to the edge? So when you begin to spin it, it goes outside. It gets out of the teacup or the coffee cup. It's the same system. So we have this would be the coffee cup or the teacup, and we have two elements over there. We have the water and we have the olive oil, and they are all spinning at the same time. In the front pipe, we have the olive oil, but you see one in the back that it's a bit lower. That is the one that is taking off the water. So here we have finally the olive oil extraction. And this is, once the olive oil is done, we preserved in places like this. And believe me, this is not a picture that has been taken in purpose to make it nice. About 90% of the olive mills in Spain, they look like this. Of course, all of them, they have stainless steel tanks to preserve the olive oil from light. But most of them, they look like this. The olive oil never lie. If you know how to taste the olive oil will always tell you the truth. When you taste olive oil, I will make it simple. If you have 100 liters of good olive oil and you have 10 liters of bad olive oil, you could say, well, I can profit those 10 liters, I blend it up with another 100 liters, and I will have a nice olive oil. No. You have 110 liters of bad olive oil. It's so astringent, the process of tasting olive oil, and the olive oil is so honest that will tell you that that olive oil is not a good olive oil. The olive oil flavors and aromas. We will give you later a little poster with all the flavors, all the range of flavors that are included you can get on the olive oil. But just for you to have an idea, you can get green grass, you can get tomato, and you can get the tomato plant. Have you ever smelled the tomato plant? No? No? For those ones that they have never smelled the tomato plant, the most similar one is the basil. The basil is more aromatic, this one is more greeny, but it's quite similar. You have fruits on it. You can even have tropical fruits on it. You can have raw nuts, you can have macadamia nuts, you can get almonds, you can get many of them. And this is very important for me, This is very important for me. One variety, one spice. We will taste later, we will test that later in the kitchen. But most of the people, they have one grade or one type of olive oil in the kitchen. And we have, how many types of chili do you have in Mexico? 100? Yeah, more or less? Okay. And do they all have a different use? Yes? Okay. So we have 260 varieties in Spain to provide different flavor to the dishes. The one and only fat that is giving flavor to our dishes is the extra virgin olive oil. We will see that later. So you have different flavor profiles. You have piquancy, you have bitterness, you have, I will tell you later what is the process of tasting and what you can get on that. Okay? The olive oil, depending on the variety, it has also different behavior on frying. The frying is a thermo-oxidation, so it's an accelerated oxidation caused by temperature. I will explain you later. So, as I said, just not talking about chili only, just talking about pepper, we have at least white pepper and black pepper. We have the mix with pink pepper sometimes, or the pink pepper itself. And pepper, we could say pepper is pepper. As we say many times, olive oil is olive oil. No, each of them is having a different flavor. So different flavor is more interesting, different hints for your recipes. So please, profit the flavor. If you learn this today, you will make my day. I will be the happiest guy in the world today, okay? And these are the different combinations of flavors. I always say that there's life beyond the salad for the olive oil. There's many other things you can do with that. Upstairs later in the kitchen, we will learn a little bit of how to play with olive oil. I will not make it, you will make it, okay? Some very, very simple techniques. Absolutely simple, okay? But please don't think that I'm making simple because I think your level is low, that I know it's really good. But I want to make it very basic because I want from that above, you have to use your creativity and your knowledge and all this stuff. Flavor combinations, as I said before. This is important. Olive oil and acidity. Many people is telling that, thanks God, with the new legislation after few years, since few years ago, people is thinking, for example, in Brazil. Is anybody from Brazil here? No? In Brazil, for example, they love to have the acidity on the olive oils, on the extra virgin olive oils. Why? Because they think that the low acidity is a very high quality, but the acidity has no flavor. The only basic flavor we get in olive oil is bitterness. Acidity means the free oleic acid on the olive oil. And it's one of many parameters, physicochemical parameters, that they give you the quality of the olive oil. So please remember, we'll make it simple. Would you grade a wine based on the content of alcohol? Has nothing to do with the flavor. So here is exactly the same. Certain wines, they need to have a certain alcohol content. It's something relevant, but it's not giving anything with the flavor. So this is the same. Frying with extra virgin olive oil. You're chefs, you're going to be future chefs. So the olive oil, yes, we go now. I will show you. We go to the quick one. That is, come on. This one. This is the one that I want to show you. As I said before, the frying is an accelerated process of oxidation on the olive oil. The smoking point of olive oil is 180 degrees, 190 degrees more or less, 180. So that's a very high smoky point. And it's not only that, it's also that the olive oil is not penetrating the food, the core of the food we are preparing. So we have a meatball, for example. When we fry with olive oil, only the crust, only the outside is going to be fried. It will never get into the middle, never. If you fry, for example, with soy oil, it will penetrate into the middle. My very good friend Alberto Moya, he made you know what is a churro in Spain? Yes? So he fried churro with a vegetable fat and he fried churro with extra virgin olive oil. So after that, the churro fried with extra virgin olive oil was 3 grams lighter than the other one. And they fried exactly the same time, the same churro, the same everything, okay? So there is an amazing thing happening with this one. And it's not only that you're frying only the outside. First, you preserve the flavor of the food. You use less amount of fat than the other fats, okay? And there is also something really good. You have also a fat transaction. You have if you fry meat, for example, it's very rich in saturated fatty acids. The saturated fatty acids will go into the olive oil, and the polyunsaturated and monounsaturated, the good fatty acids will get into the meat. So it's going to be more calorific powerful, but it's going to be more healthy.